Hey guys, so I had to redo this video. It turned out to be a little bit too long, so I apologize, guys. I'm gonna be really quick with this one. All right, so the last off, I was talking about the Page of Wands, and that was all about like your inner circle, find your tribe, find your vibe, find your tribe, right? So when I say that, I mean like those small communities that you build or create with like your friends or people that vibe with you on that level. You can get a lot of good ideas in that. Get a lot of good ideas, a lot of energy, and a lot of enthusiasm from your specific aligned group. Be looking for your aligned group, guys. It's going to be very important because we can honestly end up with a group that may not be so good for us if we choose not to, you know, we choose not to, group up with our people, right? So the three of wands is showing up, and that is in the Sagittarius section. I was reading the Libra section. That's about partnerships. This is about, oh no, this is Scorpio. So um, this is relative to what's going on. A lot of us are expressing like our pain, and this is in the Leo section right here. This right here is in the Scorpio section. So what that tells me is that really it is important for us to express our pain, express it through arts or whatever, or through music or poetry or whatever, because within that darkness, Scorpio, this is in the Scorpio section. Scorpio is all about resurrection, transformation through darkness. And the thing is, a lot of us are going to be going through darkness. Everybody goes through that. But it's very important to understand that when we go through darkness, we can transform like a phoenix from the ashes, right? Um, but yeah, that's basically what this is about. It's to let you know that, you know, basically we have to be the phoenix to rise from our own ashes. Like right now we may be in pain, but guess what? Art, and I can tell you, art or expressing yourself is a way to get yourself out of that. It's very important to be creative people. I'm gonna point that out, and you don't even have to be drawing. You can be crocheting, you could be like sewing like clothes or making clothes. um, Shoot, that's probably a skill right there, is to be able to make clothes, and especially right now, um, or if we ever lose anything. But anyways, let me not talk about that. Okay, so this is the one that tripped me up, and it was like the nine of pentacles in the Sagittarius section. So this represents our beliefs. This also represents our higher learning. I would say that in terms of our beliefs, we may, I think we have a lot of, I think we have some inverted views on our stability. This is suggesting that, you know, or maybe some of us do believe like there is, actually, I think this is indicating that a lot of us believe that there is instability. That's exactly what this is. No wonder I had to go back and redo this video, because I was like, I messed that one up. So yeah, I messed up this message. So I'm so thankful for that. So Nine of Pentacles is basically about how, and it's in reverse. That's our belief, guys. We don't believe that this shit is stable, or whatever institution, whatever we have, it may not actually be stable. It's in our minds. It's in the back of our minds. Because again, Sagittarius represents beliefs. That's also our aims. So we may be, things may seem good. Again, this is kind of relative to this, right? But I do have to urge you guys that even though things may look good on the surface, there are a lot of us have some thoughts that this is in reverse. A lot of us have some thoughts that there is some instability going on. Um, whether it's in the back of the minds, or some people are in denial of it. And again, Sagittarius also represents spirituality. So spiritually, there may be some instability going on with, especially with certain people's beliefs. But this is more so financial stuff. Like, um, yeah, that's basically what that is. Um, so financially, we're kind of a little bit worried. All right, so now we got the Empress card. So the Empress card is our careers are not as nurturing as we once thought. They're not really taking care of us emotionally. It looks like a lot of us are maybe, I would say, how are the females? How's the female workforce? Have there been like, has there been a decrease in the female workforce right now? Have been people been getting fired? I'm not really sure. Something's telling me like something's going on with that because the Empress is reversed and it's in the Capricorn section of this reading. And I interpret that as like our careers, again, not what we once thought. The value of them is not as we didn't. They're not as nurturing. They are doing it is serving a purpose, but it's not fulfilling us. Um, Even though we once thought jobs would be fulfilling for us. Um, I mean, it is taking care of the bread and butter. You know, we are able to take home the bread, but because of the instability that we do feel that, you know, maybe on the horizon, you know, a lot of us are kind of like, I feel like, you know, a lot of us are not really feeling like these jobs that we have are really fulfilling. Just one singular career is not as fulfilling, especially if it's not in alignment with you. So if you are in alignment and you have an aligned career and you have no problem, this is not for you. But this is for the general populace. You're probably one of those outliers. If you have no problem with your career, dismiss that feeling. But this is saying majority of people, they're no longer they no longer think that their job is as nurturing, and they don't think that the jobs that they have is taking care of anything for them. Um, I don't know if I'm being too general with that, but moving on, guys, moving on. I gotta keep this going. So, Queen of Swords. This represents like our collective again. Um, like that represents our innovation. I would say like a lot of us are. I would say we're kind of heading towards this place where we're not so emotional. We're more so concerned about the truth. I would say we just want truth to come out. Um, we want to cut through the illusion, right? We want to, you know, we want to just, you know, that's basically what it is. We want to cut through the illusion, right? And I'm going to move on from that because that's really it with the Queen of Swords. The Hangman, however, I think that is a little bit concerning to me. Um, Now, this is kind of in the delusion, illusion state. I can see by the end, like I feel like a lot of people are very much going to be. Okay, I'm going to just tell you what the card is. It is the upside down Hangman, and I feel like collectively, or some people may be in Delulu land, or they may actually have a very narrow viewpoint because the Hangman. Think about it. When you reach the Hangman in the tarot, that's like, oh wait, I got to think about things. This is in reverse, so people are not really thinking about things. People are settling with their own interpretations, their own viewpoints, and their own viewpoints can honestly be their truth. So yeah, we may be looking for the truth, right? But a lot of people are kind of finding some of their narrow viewpoints to be the truth. I would be careful with that. I would still try to be as expansive. I would try to be careful with confirmation biases. That's a big one. Like be careful with confirmation biases. Be careful with like I would say self-fulfilling prophecies that are currently fucking happening because this card is signifying that too. Um so yeah, I hope this was useful. Um that's it. That's the reading for March 15 to 22. I will definitely be back. I will be posting some art soon, so stay tuned, guys. Have a wonderful day.